Hi there. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 34 of Nerf News and Outranch. This episode has been almost 2 weeks in the making, working on my lighting, my video, and a lot of my other quality control issues. So there's a mic back here, and there's a condenser mic right there. And what you're seeing right here is actually my voice being made into graphics. It's kind of scary, huh? No, not in a nightmare kind of way, but in a turning it into a waveform kind of way. So then I'm going to take this, I'm going to make this stereo left and right. I'm going to bring this down from 9600 kilohertz to 4800 kilohertz because this is recording at 96 kilohertz. It's pretty killer. 96 kilohertz, not 100 kilohertz. But anyway, I got a lot to talk about this week. A lot of very cool stuff to talk about because it's not only because it's been a while, but it is the resurgence of the Stampede. It is so coming back in a way that nobody would ever imagine because, well, nobody ever thought the Stampede was ever coming back, to be honest. But, despite, Turf Springs making springs years ago, make them 9 kilograms, I still have those. And other things, we got Nerf EZE working on stuff. We've got Worker working on gears. We've got people in Singapore, this one guy in particular, Mortality Nerf, he's got freaking a crazy great Stampede setup, and he took it to Quick Flag, and just unbelievable. And of course, I got my friend Bradley Phillips, who took this is gonna be tough with the microphone here. Hold on. Took a span. I put in a barrel on here, but he got one of these 180 feet per second. Kudos, man. Kudos, great with some Worker Gen 3 darts, man. Congratulations, Bradley. I really do congratulate you for doing just such a killer job. But at any rate, I'm going to load up my good old Mauser fire with a number 62 and a strong arm spring. It can do about over 200 feet per second. Yeah, I still prefer the Mauser. I'm always going to. It's not just bias, but it's more solid. I like it. I like the Spamf, though. I've taken it to wars. It's actually done really well with it. But let's face it, you want a powerhouse blaster, one with a Spamf with a little more power, maybe not a ton of power. Well, this is where you go, man. I mean, seriously? Bada-boom. That's 170 feet per second I just shot at you. But because this is so accurate that I can hit this holder that's holding it in, I don't gotta worry. I don't gotta worry about a thing. So let's get to it, shall we? So what can a Stampede do? I know you guys are like, yeah, we have flammable blasters. Yeah, this is great. This is wonderful. But Stampede has the advantage of being a Springer to begin with. It has the accuracy and the rate of fire. And the thing about it is that it got ditched too early, in my opinion. Look at the accuracy he's got. Look at those darts just sail. And he's getting a lot more consistent fires and everything. Oh, just look at this thing. Look at this thing go. And he took it to his first Quick Flag, and he did absolutely great. It's just a brass breech system, loading it in. Absolutely a fantastic system there. And, it's the fact of the matter that you have a spring fire, that you have more accuracy, and you can use darts, more accurate darts. Let's say, for example, you can use... Hold on. Okay, I just shot my shirt, didn't put a hole through it. You can use these kind of darts. You can use PAC-Ds. You can use silicone heads. You can use some just outrageous... Look at this accuracy he's getting. Although he's got 1 or 2 errant darts, who doesn't have 1 or 2 errant darts every once in a while, especially with an automatic feed, he pretty much hits it on the nuts. I mean, anyone who goes down that corner is pretty much gone. You can only imagine what going to war with this guy would be like, or anybody with a really good Stampede setup, And I'm actually very, very impressed because this, it's a future, in my opinion. One of the biggest game changers right now was Nerf deciding to bring back the Stampede in the Icon series. Now here is Nerf EZE with his first prototype, light spring. He just wanted to see if the pusher would feed, and he's doing 121. He's doing pretty good. He has some others where he's doing 120. That's pretty good. He's got another one where he got up to 191 feet per second, and he broke one of the linkages, the one that sets off the trigger catch as it goes forward. Yeah. So even rapid fire, 110, really, really great power. I mean, and we've always wanted to see the Stampede do good. And I know this sounds, I got 200 foot per second flywheel. I got that. Yeah, but if we can get one of these up to 200 with that kind of accuracy, it really could be a game changer, because it's not just how many rounds you throw out there, it's also how accurate too. So okay, so this is Nerf Easy E. He's working on this cap here made of PLA, and this is actually nylon SLS. He's been doing a lot of work on the Stampede, the firing mechanism, the breech, and the pusher cup, and he's been working on a lot of other areas too. This recently he had this trigger catch break on him because it's just ABS and it knocks in here. But I have two suggestions. One, make it so this can over travel. So you make a part here that when it hits, it can over travel, so it ridges into there. But you find out where this tops out and you make it so it just continues. You make it slightly longer. Two, make it SLA. Or three, heaven forbid, you have to make it out of aluminum. But I don't think so. I think it can be done by making it custom and just making it so it's longer, so that one front part doesn't break. He had a little bit of a catastrophe there, but I really believe that it can actually do just extraordinarily well. If he with a little bit more engineering, I don't think that this is a fail point here, and I think it can be, that can't be overcome. And I really think it can be made something very, very cool. So when is his Stampede kit gonna come out? I know I have to talk to Ezekiel. I haven't really messaged anybody in a while, but I'm going to, and I'll get back to you and tell you. But I think that it's on its way, as you can see, and it's just really cool to see a Stampede just go the distance, man. Just go the distance. So Luchathor 13 did a Fortnite HCE pistol with about 4 sticks of epoxy putty and a titanium hand grip. So like off of an Adventure Force titanium, which I have done videos on and got it up to 18.5K. So we know the handle can handle it. He made one of these to 285 feet per second with a cutting board and a cut down long shot tube inside. And he is the first person I have seen so far to actually take Bird of Prey tech and put it in another pistol, not a Star Shot. And I think this is really, really cool. I think at Ragnar Oktoberfest you're going to see some serious shit. And that's 285 with rifling. This is about 305, 310 without rifling. I think, honestly, that, yeah, this thing without rifling or a Merlin could really just kill. It's a great pistol. Essentially, the tech works by using, a tough plunger rod, an 18.5 turf. He's also using an 18.5 turf, a long shot spring, and just no dead space. It appears that he has a coupler here. I believe he's using a 1/2-inch coupler to do it. He's not using a brass coupler. He's using a 1/2-inch coupler. But other than that, it's pretty much Ultramatch 2OC Spec. 285 feet per second. And I mean, if you ever fire one of these, you ever get your hands on one of these, and I'm going to just shoot something random in my room just to, oh, man. It's just so brutal. It's so nice having something long range that you can hold in your hands, pull out, scope and just boom, It is really nice. But this has a lot of promise. I haven't built an HCE yet. I'm probably going to. I like the fact that it's a little more compatible with, I think, more of the Nick mods. Using a cutting board, using a long shot tube, using your normal nylon spacers and screws as standoff handle, rather than this, which a lot of people don't like. I got used to it. I got used to it ages ago, man. I mean, I just did. It's no big deal. But some people, yeah. So way to go, Luchathor. Really, just awesome, dude. I think that's really, really cool. And I got another friend who's done some success too. Some success that I knew was possible, but I didn't want to go through the trouble of doing it because I already have. Well, let's just say this. I mean, really, no. So my friend Bradley Phillips, he did a Spanth, and he took it apart, and he did basically what I have always suggested to do, was send him some Sharpfire parts. I was supposed to send him some Sharpfire parts. I'm sorry. I will send to him. But you can see how this is thinner and this is fatter here. The Sharpfire version is a lot more robust. And if you want to go past 10K or you're having firing stabilities with the Spanth, dude, do this. Seriously. It works really well. And it's pretty cool. He put in a 12K spring and I believe he brassed it as well. And he got it up to about 180 feet per second, which is really nice. But he also pays much attention to the rings, the seals, the Teflon seals, everything else, you know. Um, yeah. Very, very cool. There's this barrel right there. And as you can see, brass just gives you more speed. It works better. Let's look at his chrono figures, shall we? So here he is, right here. He likes purple. I know. Purple and violet and all those really crazy cool colors. So 163, that's about average Mauser fire speeds. 169, and every once in a while you'll see a jump to 180, 190. Yeah, so, I mean, he's got it up to that point, and I think that's really cool. So this is acceptable to, to people that can actually get something like a Mauser fire, which I have this out here. This is an Explorer Recon Taliator. And look at the size difference, the bulk difference. And yes, it's not longer, it's not that much more, but it does matter. I mean, you got something that's small that I can just fire like that, man. Hey, Zed, how you doing? Oh, goodbye, you're tagged. See? It's that simple. 173 average, that's about, yeah, I would say that would do it. And, He got an airtight seal on it and everything else. So I've been seeing him chatting away while I've been really busy this last couple weeks, and also trying to work on Look and Feel show. Also trying to go for 60 frames this show. I'm trying to see if I can do it. There's a lot of technical issues with my phone that doesn't allow things to be really all that selectable 60. But if I have enough light, I figure I can try it. So here I am trying it out. It's pretty bomb, dude. It's pretty cool. So there are just so many great things that are just going on right now that are just fantastically cool. So, Gavin, the guy who came up with this, of course, which we covered in the last article. Oh, how's mine shooting lately, by the way? I don't know. Has shown us this. The new Recon MK2 in Elite Blue. It's actually shown up on the shelves. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I kind of like it with the blue better than the white. I remember when the white Retaliators came out, we all thought they were cool because, we were sick and tired of blue. But over time, I just didn't like it. Well, maybe that's a factor of we're sick and tired of the white Recon, Recon Mark II, or the fact that we just like blue all along. I think I just like blue all along. This is out, and this is really cool. It's called a CQ12. It's in close quarters 12. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. I dare do that with a Spec, but I recently put a brass barrel on mine, too. And, oh, yeah. That's just running 10. That's not running 12. The other one is running, a 62 Hillman. And, yeah, so that's really cool. There are some other developments, too, that are going on with Nerf. Chris Canadoy on Nerf Mars Welcome showed us a couple of new variants. One is the Talon, which is a Mega Blaster, which instead of one holder, you have two. I don't really think this is better than the Big Shock. As a matter of fact, I miss the Hot Shock. They should bring back the Hot Shock. The Hot Shock was cool, And we have, this is what I'm Knockout. I'm really excited about this. And the reason is it's a short pistol. It's breech load. So I guess it opens and closes like that. I'm hoping so. If not, I'm going to figure out this breech system in order to make this stuff. Can you imagine this with a really long barrelized kaboom? I think it's possible. Especially when you're talking about Rival that has a larger plunger tube and can really make use of that with a Stefan. A lot like a Chronomag does. I think that this is really, really kick-ass, and I can't wait to see it. There's a lot of really good new entries this week. So this week, we actually had this new Rival Blaster here. Titan, who's one of the moderators over at Death by Nerf Blaster, one of my friends from Singapore. 5 integrated magazines. 5. And can hold 15 rounds of ammo. It kind of goes around as so. And it's a lot like Maverick, if you look at it. Yeah. And it's, I think this is really cool. I think this handle's pretty cool. I hope this rounds off at the end there. unlike the Heracles does. I think what we're going to see again is when we mod this, we're going to want to put some kind of hook system on there. And the reason is very much because you're going to need some leverage there. Although that does look like it may have some grips with the Pictionary rail. And the Pictionary rail gives you maybe some other handle you can hit to too. But again, I don't think so. I think you're going to have the same problem as you had with the Chronos, where if you have a real beefy spring, that's really hard. But if you have a pull handle, it's very easy. You know? So, and I still love these 18K, just whopper blasters, man. Just insane. 160, 170 foot per second rifle action coming out of the original 18K spring, not the worker piece of junk. Oh, I had to look at my LCDs and make sure they're okay. That's pretty goddamn hairy. But I think the same thing's going to apply here. That I think you can mod it to do some power, but it's going to need, unless it's geared, of course, but it's going to need some support back there in order to pull it. And a Chronos was real easy because you had this door back here, this little jam door that was on the bottom here that you can just basically put a piece of fiberglass and wedge it in. And it actually, if you take this apart, I can take this whole thing out of here. No problem. It's like perfect. It's great, you know. Oh, let's shoot another ball or something. Yeah. I don't want to shoot this because it might bounce back and actually hit the screen, but I don't know. I think I'm going to shoot that box again. Woo-doo. Oh, you just so much impact. It knocked it off my bed even. Wow, that's just so great. You see, and I think that's really cool. There's a lot of things. There's also a shotgun that was hidden in the thing, so we're going to see that. They're probably trying to compete with the Adventure Force stuff, the X-Shot stuff. This week, Homely gave me this blaster. I actually did an opening video on, and I have a take-apart video that's coming up where I took apart the trigger and I analyzed the feeding. And what do I think of it? It has one major flaw, the feeding. You see, it has a little claw in here. Let me try to show you. There's a little claw in here that comes down. And I don't know if you can see that. This little thing right here. Well, it's not mechanical as feed load. So you have this little draw thing up here that hooks to this. And then that hooks to this. And it releases it. And it's supposed to push the ball down, but it just more, you know, does that. Well, I'm thinking if this was more mechanically tied, when that goes back, that would work. Is it a lot better feeding when it doesn't have the... When it doesn't have the locks on it? I took apart the prime lock and the trigger lock. I took apart both. Yes, actually, it does feed better, but it still suffers from the fact that Chronos has a U magazine. This has a straight magazine, and the indexer for the straight magazine isn't that great. And if the indexer, that's the part that takes it from the straight mag and pushes it into the actual chamber, was better, I think that that would be a great blaster. This would be a really great blaster. Here, let me load this up for you. Okay, so I have all kinds of ammo here. I've got headshot ammo. I've got red ammo. I've got Adventure Force ammo, and I'm just gonna load it in. I'm just gonna load it into here. There it is, just like that. And I do think you're supposed to push it into the magazine because the magazine goes back and it's spring-loaded. The magazine's good, but the execution of the feeder is not. So when I did this mod, it's a little better, but if I'm running around or something, it doesn't feed me. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, see? There's one with a feed tab. See if we can catch it. See? The feed tab. It's not down. And it happened on some headshot ammo, but as you can see, if this could go down, yeah, it just didn't, yeah, it didn't push it down. So you see, see that? I got it now. But now it's going to want to double feed, right? Yeah. And it does seem to be temperamental of different ammo types. Yeah. Nobody wants to be in an HVZ and have to deal with that. I mean, just nobody, okay? And especially not me, who really wants consistency. He fires his blaster, And I do believe also that more power might kick the balls out of there. I mean, even when I get a bad jam with these, the nice thing about them is they're 18 kilograms. You know, if I get a jam or something weird, it's just gonna kick it out of there. Now notice the difference in speed between an 18K that and a all but locks stock remove that. It's enormous. It's a lot of speed. When I say this thing is 160, 170 with rifles, I am not kidding. I've taken out people with Prometheuses. I've taken out people with all sorts of blasters. Yeah. So a fellow news agency known as What the Foam actually came up with this, and What the Foam, being a really good news agency, actually showed us some new Fortnite stuff. It seems that Fortnite is going into the rarity thing. The yellows, the greens, well, I haven't really seen green. Have I seen green yet? I think I have. But yellow, and then purple, and now blue. The blue one is going for more money, even though it's the same blaster and only has 3 little targets. It's like $15 more right now. But the red one's been around for a while. Okay? And so they're trying to pull this, as you guys know, in Fortnite, there's a rarity of arms. Well, they're doing this here too, and it's kind of stupid. Okay, here's your Scythe. Your Scythe is what you use to build and unbuild. So I think that's kind of cool. They have this as a melee. You got the blue rarity pistol. Now, functionally, they're exactly the same, except for they come up with 3 llama targets. Okay, but it's this whole. I know what kids are gonna say. See, I got the blue one. It's more rare. I mean, kids are gonna pull that stuff. You're only encouraging that, and you got the twin purples. Okay. You know, I personally would rather have twin, and do have twin Deadpools. I think that's a lot nicer in a battle. Myself, especially since these can pull some serious powers, and even weakened down as they were in the last Stalking Dead to 13, they were formidable even in the Last Stand. Good shots there. And then they have these mini pistols that are kind of a target set, which is kind of cool, but again, still just a jolt. It's nothing really all that big, you know. And then, of course, we have this. The Scar with a bunch of just burger and, you know, tomato palace stickers on it. Again, I have never liked what they did with this line. And I also don't like the fact that they're doing this rarity thing where kids are going to brag about, oh, I got the blue one, you only got the yellow one, I kind of don't like that. Because in Fortnite, that is a big deal. What rarity arms you got is a big deal. And unfortunately, I think we're going to see a lot of problems with this down the line. It's a little crazy. Okay, moving right along, we have a lot of end strike worker stuff. A lot of the new caps for like the Stampede. Stampede's coming back in a big way. I really think that's the next real trend you're gonna see. And gears. I found some gears too, though I don't know where they are at the moment. I found some gears too. And of course, this week we have this weird thing on a package XJ's Nerf leak levers. It's a 1-shot, 2-shot, 3-shot deal. I don't think that this is a smart AR3. I think this is a two, just you know, your normal 3 shots, 2 shots, 1 shot. But the tube does look a little bigger. It is kind of a fire. It's basically a fire strike kind of setup, but it could be pretty interesting. Also, I think that this long barrel here could be coupler. But the one thing I noticed was that this has a lot of dead space to it. There's a lot of dead space. I think it's because they're putting the air housing in here, but I'm not sure. And yeah, I just don't. Now, if this is multiple shot, it's like you're supposed to do 1, 2, 3. It's like, why bother? You know, why not just, I don't know. But I'm thinking if there's a shotgun, that's pretty cool. So, but this is not as big as a long shot tube. And really for 3 shots shotgun, you need like a long shot tube, really. Yeah, it's just kind of like, yeah. So at any rate, let's go to our next segment. And our next segment is Cartaya Explains It All. This week, we're going to go by the unofficial origins of Big Blue. Where does that name came from? Now, it doesn't just mean that the blaster is big and blue. And I was sitting here struggling to come up with a name for this blaster. I was. And it is a significant part of history, and I really felt it needed a good name. Well, watching a movie in Singapore at the same time known as the Heathers, I found a great name. Check it out.
Now, should it be chicken noodle or be with bacon?
Put a lid on that stuff. See, we go with Big Blue here. So, as you know, and this is my little Audacity doing waveform multi-track there, high quality audio. I saw this and I thought, ooh, Deep Blue Death. What a cool name, man. What a great name. So I just called it Big Blue. Because after all, it's like...
Just give me the hot jerk.
Yeah, so it's like that. You know, it's like, why don't we just go with Big Blue here? Well, that's why I came up with the name. And I know it's sadistic to name a blaster after Heather Chandler's death, but let's face facts. That is a glorious name. And most people didn't know it. And at the time, I did say, yeah, it's big and blue, but in reality, it was that movie. I'm like, ooh, Big Blue. Suck it down, baby. I mean, imagine, I never totally been out in the field shooting this thing, but if I did, that'd be kind of funny. And I'd be like, what do you mean? Well, I know exactly what I mean. This is named after somebody who swallowed some, disinfectant sanitizing solution and then went smash! Yeah, pretty much. But, at any rate, this has been Season 2, Episode 34 of Nerf News from the Owl Ranch. I'm trying to pull 60 hertz. I'm trying to pull pro audio. I'm hoping it works really well. This is how it looks when it goes through the condenser mic. Like, I'm not kidding. Watch. See that? Those are my taps I just put in. See? Yeah, and that's just great. I just see your voice. Just visualize. It's kind of nuts. And I'm just here to tell you, don't you go changing, or I'll find you. And this should tell you how long we've been filming. Hour 18. It's a lot of hours, man. It's a lot of time, yeah. And I'm hoping it's a good episode. I'm hoping the lighting, everything goes good. And we'll see. We'll have to see. We'll see it together. Will this work or will it won't? It's a lot of work going, hitting this and hitting that and hitting the lights. And it's really tough. But if I do this once a week, I think it would be a good show. And I wouldn't want to compromise our viewers. I love you very much, and I love the news, and I hope you go out there, you go out and play and have fun, because I know I will. Either in public or in my delusional little head, or shooting at you. Oh, yeah. So don't you go changing, or I'll find you. Peace out. Just go away quietly. It's okay. Can't hit you from across that screen. Well, at least my voodoo doesn't work yet. But, yeah. Just go. Go. You got nothing to worry about. I mean, it's only a man pointing a Nerf gun at you, but you have nothing to worry about.